LoveLine is meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion advised.
Now, here's LoveLine.
1-800-LOVE-191.
With Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Are you insane?
Yeah, all right. Hey, it's the LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Phone number for LoveLine, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Supercross superstar Jeremy McGrath will be in here tomorrow night. I think Jeremy's deal was Jeremy was basically untouchable in that sport for a number of years. I mean, he was just number one every year, every race. As a matter of fact, he used to. I think he went 20 races. As a matter of fact, I remember watching some of them when he was winning everything. They would actually have discussions before the race about who looked good for second. It's going to be real.
Right.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the commentators would have serious discussions about who looks good for second place in this race, just because he was in it. And then he got with another team, and he got a bad ride, and he didn't get the bike broke, and he had some troubles. But I think he's doing real good now. Anyway, he's the Supercross guy, and he'll be in here tomorrow night. So, Drew.
Yeah.
I was driving home from flying my model airplane today, and I was driving my Cherokee. I bought a used car, a second car. Kind of a.
So put your plane in.
Kind of a clunker. It fits the plane in there.
Lumber.
Yeah, throw lumber in there. Yeah. You people that don't have two cars, I highly recommend it. You need a Thrasher car.
All right.
You do. You need that one to go. When you go into the inner city and score crack, you don't want to get rolled. You want to think you're rich. You need that car. So I was driving that car, and the water pump blew out. And it was weird because things have been going fine for me for the last 3 or 4 years. I've been driving relatively new cars and not really considering what happens when cars break down. And, for people, I'll tell you, it's the worst syndrome in the world. You're talking to a guy who's driven old pickup trucks his entire life. I always had to drive a truck because I was a carpenter, and they're always old because I was poor, and it's this horrible syndrome. You never get a new car, and you dump more money into these old cars than you do making payments on a new car. I mean, hell, you can lease yourself a brand new loaded Cherokee for $375 a month, and when you're driving an old beat-up piece of ass, you're putting more into that each month because everything just goes wrong. But
you can't.
The thing that I forgot about is
qualify for a lease.
Oh, forget about it. I was working under the table. I didn't exist. I mean, the IRS thought I was, $7,000 one year, $4,000 the next year. I just claimed whatever I got 1099 for whatever, commercial stuff I did. The rest is under the table. But the point is there's a whole life to guys whose cars break down a lot.
Yeah.
And what I mean is you can't just call tow trucks and have it towed to the garage. Right. There's no way. I mean, the towing is $100 alone, and God knows what garage you're going to, and God knows how you're going to get reamed. I mean, I got this car. The water pump went bad. I guarantee I bring it to a garage. Not only is the water pump going to get replaced, but, the head gasket don't look so good either. You overheated the car, could have warped the head. We're going to have to put a new head gasket on there as long as the head's off. Thing's got 95,000 miles on it. We might as well do a valve job on it. We got to mic the head, make sure it's not cracked or anything. We'd hate to bolt it back on and have a hairline crack in the thing, and then we got to deck surface the thing so it sits flat and you don't blow another head gas, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it'll just keep going. This is how mechanics make their money. Mechanics ought to just make their money like surgeons. Surgeons just go, look, you got to have your gallbladder removed. I want $20,000. Imagine if surgeons, I never thought about this, but imagine if surgeons worked like mechanics. They'd go, well, it looks like the gallbladder's got to come out, but I'll tell you what, when we opened you up, we noticed a polyp. And
I've seen people do that.
Oh, we have?
Oh, I would just, we're having a variant cyst. We'll just take your appendix out over there.
Well, we're open now. Most of the cost is spreading the ribs. Once we got you open, which I guess would be the equivalent to like having the car up on the rack and the front end apart. But the way mechanics make their money is, we'll replace the brake pads, but while we got the brakes off, we might as well have the rotors turn. As long as the rotors are turned, we might as well repack those bearings. mean, that's only going to be another $25. Blah, 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 blah. It just keeps going. Every time you see one of these things that says, we'll do a clutch job for $95, believe me, they're going to replace the throwout bearing, and they're going to tell you need your flywheel resurfaced. That's the way it goes. That's where the money is. Yeah. It's like the guys are going to clean every house in your room for $4 a room, the carpet cleaning service. Oh, yeah. No way. No way. They're going to replace you. They're going to resurface your flywheel, too. That's the twist. But the point is I hadn't broken down in a long time, and I had to do the kind of driving you do when you drive crappy cars. Now, when you drive crappy cars, S happens, and I mean, you're coasting, the car's shut down, the thing's overheating, so you shut the car down, you put it in neutral, you kick the heater on to disperse some of the heat, you slide over, you keep a gallon of Sparkletts water that you filled up, container from the hose, you always keep it in the back to top the thing off. We used to tow, we used to break down all the time, and we couldn't afford a tow truck or anything. We had this system worked out where we had a old tire, like a tugboat, and we'd strap it to the bumper of one of the guy's cars.
Push.
And he would push. Yeah. But I'm talking about for miles.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had a guy break down in Beverly Hills. We pushed his ass over to the valley. Right. I'm talking about through Coldwater Canyon and everything. I mean, we used to really cover some miles with tow lines and pushing. And, you'd push the guy, and then you just hit the brakes and let him coast for a quarter mile, and then you get back on him again. But just all that hazard lights on, sliding around. Anyway, the point is I immediately went back to autopilot. I mean, I was flicking on stuff. I was shutting stuff down. I was like an old war veteran who'd been flying combat missions who got an engine shot out or something. I was shutting off engines, dumping fuel. It was anything just to nurse at home. And my buddy kept saying, you're going to blow your head gasket. It's getting too hot. You got to get it towed. No, I'm not towing. I don't know. It's weird, but I can't tow things. I take some people take an emotional stance, a moral stance against like abortion.
Right.
For me, it's towing.
Have you had an Auto Club car? Do you have one?
I don't even know. I don't think I do.
If you have one, there'd be no charge for that.
I could get it home, but boy, you got to drive a certain way. I was driving on the freeway shoulder around people. I was flying out into traffic. It's amazing. Things amazing. You will risk your life in order not to have your car towed 15 miles. At a cost of $50, So anyway, it all came back to me, and I was thinking of you, Drew, and I thought, you wussy.
I've done this stuff.
Oh, you'd be crying.
Oh,
you'd
yes,
be crying.
I would.
You'd be crying for your mama. You'd be waiting for
I've driven old cars, believe me.
No?
Believe me.
Uh-huh. With the pewter dipstick.
No, I know the trick of old cars overheating and turning the heater on and keeping it coasting.
All right. I got to tell you, I was like a veteran pilot shutting stuff down.
And they always you have to turn the throttle up because they'll always die out when they're overheating. It's just
this thing. I was actually getting up speed, shutting the car, putting the car in neutral and shutting the car off and just coasting. And I'm talking about down Ventura Boulevard. And, the power steering gets a little stiff when the engine's off. But I muscled it, baby. Keisha.
Yes.
You're 19.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on there?
What's up?
Well, my problem is that I've never been on a date, and I currently go to an all-female school, and it's in a lesbian haven, and so my prospects are just getting slimmer and slimmer.
What does lesbian haven mean?
Oh, it's in Northampton, Massachusetts.
You go to Smith? You go to Smith?
Yeah.
Well, you've got Amherst and UMass Amherst and all these big schools right nearby. Hampshire? Come on. Right?
Yes. But the problem is...
you got the annex to Hampshire, New Hampshire, right?
So you were making fun of the Lord Jeff song yesterday.
I haven't been able to find a scene, though.
It's too bad you're not 70 years old, or you could have joined Drew's scene back when he was making it over there. They should erect a statue to you. You know what I mean? Not you, Keisha. Well, Keisha, your verbal skills could be part of the problem.
No, she goes to Smith. It's a great school.
Hey, she's smart, but she has trouble putting together a sentence.
No, I can put together sentences. My crushes last a minimum of a year. Sometimes I have difficulty.
Hold on, what was that? What were those last 8 words?
My crushes last a minimum of a year.
Her crushes last a minimum of a year.
Sometimes I have problems reading people's signals. I don't know if that has something to do with it. I don't easily fit into any one category.
The social. I don't know what it's like there. So
that's not because you're too big for one category.
But when I was there in the late 70s, and it was very bizarre. It was sort of everything was attached to a social norm of about 1942.
Mm-hmm.
2 female schools in the vicinity, 1 all-male school, and very sort of misogynistic and weird. I agree. It was not a normal social scene where people dated. Now, I don't know what things are like now.
But you're at Smith, and that's
at my school. There's at Smith. There's 2 basic scenes. There's the straight scene and there's
lesbian and ultra lesbian.
No. There's a straight scene and then there's a gay scene, and there's the whole old stereotype, and it's just sort of revamped. Girls who like to wear J. Crew and go out with frat boys and that whole thing. And then there's the lesbians.
Let me tell you something. Hold on,
Oh.
Keisha.
Yes.
Let me tell you about the scene. Forget about the scene. There is no scene. Just go do whatever the F you want.
It's hard.
I do synchronized
please.
swimming.
What?
I mean, I do like to get out, but I do synchronized swimming when it comes to.
Ooh.
And I mean, not a lot of guys do that. I know.
That's more lesbian. And if you do find a guy in that pool, look out. He's more into guys than you are.
You're a freshman now, right?
No, I'm a sophomore.
Okay. Well, listen. Why don't you go over to Amherst and cruise some dudes? You may find the next Dr. Drew over there.
I think. Listen, I think the thing
Or
is
Jeff.
get involved in
Please,
some
Drew,
activities.
don't poke me.
I want to talk. Get involved in some activities that include people from the 5 College area. You'll start meeting people, and you'll not be so sort of macroscopic. There won't be these big scenes that you have to attach yourself to. You'll meet some people. That's all.
All right. Let me dispel something for most people. There's really not much of a scene, and there's not a whole lot of conspiracies, and there's really not much anything going on. People just do their own thing,
I know what you're
and they
talking
try
about.
to get laid, and they try to make money, and they
But
try
I
to
can
take care
remember-
of their family,
I
and
can
that's about it.
But I can remember back these are old institutions that have these weird, old, anachronistic social systems that are hard to
All right,
sort of navigate.
Listen, I grew up in North Hollywood, which was founded in 1974. And there were scenes. There were people. You go to a bar, there was the same people that hung out, the good-looking people, the ugly people. They knew each other. They all seemed difficult to break into. And there's always cliques. There's always groups. There's always tribes. There's always scenes.
Can you imagine having been in
Wherever you go.
in an all-male school, though, and then trying to figure out how to find a way to meet women if you're in an all-male school?
You got to get out. But, I mean, listen, do not do that BS that I hear everyone talking about, which is tons of projection, which is these guys are into this and I'm into that and they think I'm into this, so I don't want to be into that. And they give me this attitude like, hey, you're into this and we're into that. Oh, no one gives a rat's ass.
You're right. That's right.
Tired of everybody with their crap. Not Keisha, though. I tell you, it's just, it's a, you know what? Listen, everybody that's worried about the Republican agenda and the Democratic agenda and the white agenda and the black agenda and the Hispanic American agenda and all, just go do your own crap. Stop worrying about everyone else. Please. Everyone's got a reason why they can't do something. Brian.
Hey, how you doing, Adam?
Hey, you're 38.
Huh?
You're 38.
38.
What's going on?
Well, this question's for both of you. Plus, first I want to thank you guys. You guys got a great show. I like your guys' candor and your professionality.
Thank you.
Professionality.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a nice combination of personality and professionalism.
Hey,
Yeah, we're getting
Does it all.
Norm Crosby on the other line.
Listen, you guys touched last night. I listened to your show, before I go to bed, and you guys touched last night on relationships.
On this show?
Yeah.
Wow. Shocking.
Usually talk about ceramics and barbecuing, but
Right.
it may have slipped in as it pertained to ceramics. My wife doesn't like me working on the wheel as much, stuff like
normally
that.
it's, sexually transmitted diseases. I guess it's the same thing, right?
Okay, yeah. So what's
Listen,
going on?
My question is when you were touching on this last night with a caller about Adam was saying about basically what like you want what you can't have. I was in a long-term relationship with a gal. Actually, we lived in North Hollywood, Adam.
Oh, great.
Over on Ben Avenue off Magnolia.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not too bad in there either. Magnolia, let's see, wait a minute. Where's Ben? Does that run next to Laurel or?
Right before Laurel, yeah.
Right before Laurel and Magnolia?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to live in that crappy little apartment right on Laurel and Otsego.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah. Ben, yeah, you got next to the AM/PM.
There you go.
And my little Italian barbers over there on Magnolia, probably dead by now.
Oh, they're gone, yeah.
You know the thing that was funny about those two guys?
The piano? Or
Yeah.
the guitar and the Playboys.
Yeah, the
What?
guitar, they had a stack of Playboys up to the ceiling. And the thing that was funny about these guys, Brian, you probably been in there.
I used to get my beard trimmed.
They had 2 TV sets, one where the sound worked and the other where the picture worked, and they were stacked on top of each other. And the guy had the map of Italy behind him. And the thing that was funny about these 2 guys is one guy was really old and really out of it, and they're both really nice Italian guys, and with the accent and everything. But the old guy couldn't cut hair worth a lick. I mean, he butchered my hair every time I went in there. The funny thing about a barber, when you're a guy, is once you establish you have one, you go to him, even if he does a horrible job every time. That's your barber, like someone assigned it to you or something, like some sort of prearranged marriage with the barber. But there were 2 guys. One of them was really good and always gave me a really good haircut. The other guy was older, a little more senile, horrible haircut every time.
The guy that had you flatten your hair out and
yeah, he would
flop it over?
he'd comb it over, he'd pull it back. I'd look like Eric Estrada when I walked out of the place. But the point is, yeah. Oh, by the way, when you're 90 years old, you cut hair in the style of your prime. So I got like the Doughboy, the 1947 hairdo, but. Yeah, this is what's playing. They always had the Financial Channel on, too, by the way. Remember that? And huge stacks of Playboys, just up to the ceiling. Never threw one away. Ones that weren't made. But
that's what kept you coming back, let's face it.
The point is,
Right?
oh, yeah. The guy, so I didn't have, they had 2 chairs, and the 2 guys were going at it, and there was always a couple guys in front of you waiting. And a chair would open up randomly. And when the old guy's chair opened up, if you were next, you got up and sat in it. You didn't sit there. You didn't tell the guy after you, you go ahead. So it was always a crapshoot. Maybe you got the good guy. Maybe you didn't. But once you were in there, that was it.
All right, Brian has a question. So.
Oh, yeah, Brian.
Yeah, I love you, Adam.
God bless you.
The question was on the, and Drew, you might understand this too, because I'm in the medical field now. I went from being born and raised in a lumber mill, and now I've been doing radiology for the last 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, I'm pretty well read too. I've read Bradshaw and Gray and Viscott and Buscaglia, and this thing like
I'm not sure I would call that well read, but go ahead, Brian.
Yeah,
not the most intellectually challenging.
Yeah,
You're saying Leo Buscaglia and Terry Bradshaw aren't the geniuses of our time?
Yeah, I understand. Well, I'm having a problem nonetheless with this. I guess it's like an adjustment deficit. Like you guys touched on it last night about wanting what you can't have.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was in a long-term relationship. We were friends before we were in a relationship. Then I guess we made the mistake of falling in love. It lasted about 4 years. It was really, it wasn't a good relationship. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of glad I'm out of it. But and there were some narcotics involved, and I think that really put a spin on it. As a matter of fact, I'm not on them no more. She is.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure of that. But the thing is that, like, I almost kick myself in the butt because sometimes I wake up and I miss this gal because of our history.
Yeah, you just miss her because you're horny and you're desperate and you don't got anything else going on.
Well, and whatever pathology that stuck you guys together is still operating in your brain.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian, listen, if you're not in recovery now, you don't do. You say narcotics. I assume you mean opiates. You don't do those for a while and then just stop and things just magically go away. I mean, this speaks of serious illness, mental illness. For lack of a better way of describing it, I mean, this is whether you call it chemical dependency or whatever the specifics are here. I mean, there's some real substantial problem here. And that pathology that was operating during that relationship still operates in you unless you've done some substantial work to change it. So I'd look really long and hard at yourself and what's going on with you, whether you're an addict or a codependent, whatever it is, and do some work. People don't change emotionally by reading books.
Hey, Drew. I was going to slide into my Viscott impersonation, but I'm going to give the audience a little reprieve from that. But you know what I was just thinking of? And this is my problem with relationships. I know it's pathetic, but guys like Brian are lonely. Or is that Brian we're just talking about? Yeah. Brian's lonely because you don't got anything else going on. You just listen to me. He don't have anything else going on, chick-wise. And he misses her.
Yeah.
But guys, big wheel guys, Donald Trump, whoever, athletes, celebrities, they don't seem to spend years wallowing in their loneliness, stewing in their own juices. It happens every once in a while. You hear about some guy. But you know what? They move on to another chick real fast, and guess what? They like her okay, too.
But they do go in and out of crazy relationships. And
they do.
If they're prone to that, they'll find another person that fits that same role.
Yeah, but I'm just speaking solely on the. I mean, I could remember girlfriends dumping me, and I thought I missed them, and I thought I loved them, and I thought we were soulmates. But the reality was, I was driving a piece of crap truck. I was making $7 an hour. I was miserable. No other woman would have anything to do with me, and I had a year to think about it.
I understand.
Believe me, if I was going out with some spokesmodel a week later, that whole soulmate business gone.
But you would cast in that role of the next girlfriend.
Oh, sure. I'd pick a screwball.
Right, the same person. And so the same thing would be acted out all
Claudia
over.
Schiffer's sister went over to this guy's apartment tomorrow. That'd be the last time he ever uttered that last chick's name.
Yeah.
That's why I believe it. And that's when I see these celebrities, it's sort of like, hey, Winona Ryder's with this guy. Now she's with that guy. Now she's bounced over to this guy.
Yeah, but a lot of
they may be screwed up. But the point is I was trying to think of an example. Chicks always getting married. What's her name? Julia Robertson, for instance. She never seems lonely because she's with a new sort of model-esque hunk guy every 6 months. Now, pack on 40 pounds and get her job as a dental technician. She'd be missing the first guy. She'd still be wanting to get back with Keith or Sutherland. You know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely, but I think it's
pathetic.
The same.
Okay, but am I right to say that there's no one really just out there for anybody else?
Oh, yes.
You go find another one. You go find your own one. Some people are better than others, but you can find another.
I mean, unless you really have a history with somebody. You know, if you've established a family.
They had to save you from a fire.
No, but you know what I mean? When people have a real lengthy history and they've been part of a family or together and have kids and stuff, it's different. It's not that's the only person for you, but it is a relationship that will be a part of you forever. So.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Speaking of that, when we come back, Megan, 17, best friend. Oh, I don't want to do that. What about this one? David, he's 31, following vigorous sex, has a bump on his penis. Should he worry? All right, we'll do that after this.
LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
Hey.
Your car?
Yeah. She got ourselves a Culver City PD police department
all
head.
the abuse you spew out at this police department is amazing. They come in here and are so nice to you.
I have no problem with the Culver City PD. I like them. I have a little trouble with the planning or zoning commission, the ones that think there's needs to be an arrow every 11 feet in this city. But the police department, fine lads, doing a fine job. Absolutely. Keep that hat on the passenger seat. I'll put it on immediately when I get pulled over. Drew, admit it, you drove a little faster last night after the police department came in and we kissed up to him pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You felt?
No, same, but just felt better about it.
Yeah. My next step is I want to be deputized. So I can roll on some of these things I see.
This so you don't forget to do it.
All right. You know, my idea, I had all sorts of ideas once when I was thinking about running for mayor.
You had ideas?
Yeah.
Mayor of what?
Wherever. Just mayor.
This is part of your movement for power?
Yeah.
This is how you're going to take over?
Got to start small and work my way up. One of my ideas, as far as law enforcement goes, along with the 3 strikes you're out with the domestic disputes.
You're talking you're dead.
Yeah. Well, that's what out.
No.
I mean, you're really out. 3 visits from the cops breaking up domestic disputes to the same residents, even if it's not the same people, by the way, just the same residents in a 6-month period, and they're putting everyone down. Kids, cats, everyone. Dog, everyone. They put the silencer on, they all go down. I don't want to waste my money on this. Other idea, though, all uniform cops, put them in street clothes. All homeless people, put them in the cop outfits. It looks like we have this huge patrol, this huge foot patrol. There's people at 4:30 in the morning, they're walking up and down the street. And it just looks like
yelling too.
Yelling. we give them like styrofoam guns, but talk about a police presence. There were 4 cops leaning over a lit trash can the other night at 4 in the morning in the worst part of town, singing a Drifters song. Wouldn't that be effective?
Brilliant.
Thank you. I think that's good. And the other thing is, I don't want cops driving cop cars. I just want them in their own vehicles. Own vehicles, own clothes. The only thing they get is the badge, which I call the tin.
Is that cool?
Or the shield. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know, when the black sergeant yells at Starsky and Hutch and tells him he's going to lift his shield, that means he's going to take his badge away.
I didn't understand that. Okay.
There's always that scene, too, where he's got to turn his piece in. You know, where he's taking him off the force?
Yes.
Giving him a forced leave of absence.
Give him your
absence. Yeah, and he tells him to turn the piece in. It's always real reluctant. The guy slams it down on the desk.
It's always in the holster.
Yeah. I'm going to need your shield and your piece, Hutch.
David?
Yes.
Save me from Adam. What's going on?
Hey, you guys rule, man. I love your show.
Thanks.
You do a great job. I can't save you from Adam, though. I can't even save myself right now. How are you doing?
Good.
Well, good. So, I have this bump on the penis thing.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I was, I was with somebody, and we were having sex for a long time, like, 6 hours maybe. And
6 hours? Jesus, his ass must have been sore. Can you imagine?
she was the best sex I ever had in my life, man. She was so hot, I couldn't put her down, okay?
6 hours. Please. What are you talking about? It's ridiculous.
Anyway, anyway. So I got like a friction burn kind of thing. And then, I don't know, maybe a week or so later, there was this little part of it that didn't quite heal. It was like a little bump, and it just developed, and it got a little bit bigger. It's on the left side, about midway up. Hasn't gotten any bigger. Hasn't, oozed anything or
like a little abscess?
Changed or...
Is it firm? Is it hard? Is it like an abscess? Is it... What?
It's hard when I'm hard.
Right.
But when I'm not, it's
Listen,
not.
Joker, quit screwing around. You're...
I mean, what?
Well, no, I'm
it's
serious.
very hard for me to know what you're
doing. Erection, it's...
David, I'm just trying to figure out what you're describing. Are you describing a scar left over from a wound that you had?
Yeah.
All right. It's a
is
scar
that what it is?
Could be. Oh, boy, you got to put the bong down here.
Okay. Yeah.
Am I right?
You smoke a decent amount of weed?
Oh, no.
You don't?
Nope.
Really?
Really.
All right. All right, so Drew, what should he do? I'm done with it.
I've said this a million times. It's very hard for me to evaluate skin lesions. Lay people do not describe them very well. Our callers don't anyway.
So gay people don't know how to describe?
Lay people. And my best guess, and it is purely a guess, is that it's a scar left over in a wound that from overzealous friction, he incurred.
Well, let me say this there, Drew. Oftentimes the penitus area, it remains moist, and it's always getting worked on. You know what I mean?
So it doesn't heal as well, you mean?
Well, I mean, it's like you bend down, you whack your head on the garage door, you get a scratch on your forehead. It dries up and heals pretty quick because it's not moist that much. Yeah. It's getting a lot of air, and you're not jacking around with it all the time.
Right.
But the penis, it sits there, and it's like your underpants are like a root cellar. They're moist. There's a lot of stuff going on in there.
It's like getting something in your foot.
And then you're having sex. You're whacking off all the time. Yeah. There's a lot of moisture down there. Right. Stuff doesn't have a chance to heal.
So there's an opportunity for scar formation. That's true.
You just got to walk around with this penis hanging out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Air it out.
That's great.
Okay. Joe.
Hi.
What's
Adam.
going on there?
You guys are incredible. Adam, I think you're one of the funniest people in the history of radio.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
There haven't been
it's not really saying much.
Many people on radio.
Everyone sucks on radio.
In the history of radio.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That means Jack Benny and...
Jack Benny, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But
George
without
Burns.
Drew, you're only about 60-70% as entertaining.
Cool.
That's a compliment for Drew.
See.
I don't want to leave Drew out.
Thank
I
you,
understand.
Joe. What's going on, Joe?
I've been dating my girlfriend 7.5 years. Most of that time, up to the last 3 months, she was fairly regular in her period, 28 to 29, 30 days. The last 3 months, with a few, 3 to 4 late days in there, spread over 7 years. The last 3 months, she was 4, 5, 7 days late. Can a woman make a permanent shift in her cycle from 28 to 30 days to 33 to 35 days? That continues?
Yeah. Sure. Things do change as you get older, but I mean, is she on any medication? Is she
No.
working differently? Is she working out? Is her diet changed? I mean,
No, I mean, I guess stress could be the answer, but
There you go.
it's not more stress than before. I mean, before she was under stress, and maybe 1 month, yes, something would happen, and then she would go back. But this is 3 consecutive months, which she was never that late. 3 consecutive
Hey,
times.
Joe, I have a hypothesis.
Yes.
Go back and check your girlfriend's period table that you have posted in the rumpus room, the one you made out of construction paper. Perhaps you miscarried a number or something.
No, I actually keep her periods.
I've never seen a guy so wrapped up. I don't know what the hell comes out of my girlfriend, and I don't care. I don't want to know. She could do it every day for a year. I wouldn't know the difference.
What, don't you ever get worried that she might be pregnant?
No.
Well, that comes the second part of my question, because I do obsess when she's late, even if we haven't had intercourse.
Yeah.
I think about her being pregnant,
Listen to Joe's voice.
Oof.
and I obsess on it. And I don't.
Yeah.
What are you guys using for contraception?
We don't. We don't generally don't have intercourse.
Well, because you're worried about pregnancy?
Yeah. Well, pregnancy, and she's not. She would rather wait. We've had it, but she'd rather wait till marriage.
Maybe you should worry about pregnancy, but it's going to be somebody else's baby.
No.
You've been dating 7.5 years.
Yes.
You're waiting until marriage. Ooh.
And obsessing about pregnancy even when you
I
haven't had
am.
And not only that, but I mean,
He doesn't think about it at all.
Are you on any medication?
No. I am. Generally, I think about everything that can go wrong in general, and
What do
worry
you
more
do
about
for
it.
a
But the
living?
guy's like Copernicus or something with this. I mean, he's coming up with the timetables and the lunar cycles, and we're probably working the tide into it.
What do you do for a living?
Actually, I'm in business school.
Business school. Yeah, this is not a healthy preoccupation that you have.
I know that. Oh, I'm well aware of
Yeah,
that.
her health is fine. She's perfect.
When are you guys going to tie the knot?
Well, that's another story. Hopefully, when I graduate and I settle down and in terms find a place where my job is. And
True. I just Joe in his neuroses has
Triggered
inadvertently.
yours. Yeah.
No, I've stumbled onto a great answer. I got to get into school.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. You can't get married until you graduate.
That's right. Settle
And
down.
with my study habits, you kidding me? I
And you
take
should go to-
bartending school. I could milk that for 8 years.
Go to a PhD program. You'd be there for.
Oh no, they wouldn't let me into that. I gotta get like a GED first, I think. But I mean, I could go to one of those schools, those like School of Phoenix or whatever. I hear them advertised.
University of Phoenix.
Yeah, I love these schools. By the way, it's funny because they always advertise what kind of degree you're getting. You'll be a doctor, and then in the next breath, they explain that you never have to show up.
Yeah.
I go,
Abraham Lincoln University.
Abraham Lincoln University. You only have to show up in person to get your diploma. Other than that, we just take your word for it. You never go consecutive weekends. You never go
To me, that
on Sundays.
that
It's like,
epitomizes the insanity of our culture. We will give you everything for nothing. Doesn't cost you anything, no work, and you'll get it all. It'll magically appear in your brain.
how the hell do you get a PhD in something or a master's degree in something when it takes X amount of hours to earn that degree if you do it an hour and a half a month? You know what I mean? Use your go back and use the abacus. It's going to take you 14 years.
But what would you see?
They're just going to give it to you. Then.
But what would you have learned? And that shows you how pathetic our education system can be.
I know. Well, just as long as you got the paper. Anyway, I figure if I can join some school, I won't have to get married. Yeah, because hell, we can't make a move till I graduate.
You're working it.
That's a good idea. All right, Joe, you're way too wound up.
She's fine.
And there's something weird going on here. You guys have had sex. You're not getting married. She doesn't want to have sex until she gets married, although we had sex once. We didn't really like it.
And no, he doesn't want to because she might get pregnant, but I'm afraid she's going to get pregnant anyway. Anyway.
Can you imagine going to one of their parties? Don't eat that Chex Mix. Eat this Chex Mix.
But this is. I mean, I didn't ask him the appropriate questions, but it's like a true obsessive compulsive disorder. You know.
Listen, if you're going to obsess, at least get involved with that fantasy football or something. Don't get involved with the period. No man should be wasting his time with that. Greg.
Yeah. I've been taking a drug called Accutane, or actually, I was taking it about a year ago.
Right. They put you on birth control too, right? No.
And it's an acne medication.
Yes.
My liver test checked out, and everything was fine, except when I was taking it, I had horrible side effects. I mean, muscle spasms, the whole deal. But it worked. I mean, the year was up, and the drug actually worked. I mean, things were going great. I had a girlfriend. I was really happy. Okay, so now my acne is back, and I'm wondering if I take Accutane again, if it'll totally eliminate acne for,
Well, I don't know what the statistics are right off the top of my head. But the idea with Accutane is to create a permanent change in the way your skin functions. And it sometimes takes more than one application. But in my experience, when we've had to do it twice, it's been people that have been on 6 months of therapy. You've already been on a year, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have all these side effects again, I assure you. So it's you may want to, there are multiple other ways to manage acne, and I'm sure it's better than it had been in the past, but you need to get back to the dermatologist, weigh these things out, consider some other alternatives perhaps first, like topical agents, creams, that sort of thing, benzoyl peroxide, antibiotic creams, and then perhaps a repeat cycle on the Accutane.
Don't use the Bondo hardening catalyst that I use. That's 90% benzoyl peroxide. Walking around with that orange Bondo cream on my face.
Does it eat a hole in your face?
No, it just made sense. I was reading the back of it. I haven't told this story in a little while, but that Oxy 10 is 10% benzoyl peroxide. Benzoyl peroxide's a drying agent. When you work with some kind of epoxies or resins or Bondos, it's a two-part. It's the resin, and then it's the catalyst. It's the drying agent. Well, it turns out the drying agent in Bondo, the stuff you put on your car fenders, is 90% benzoyl peroxide. Go down to Pep Boys, you get like a 8-ounce tube of that for $4 as opposed to 0.5 ounces down at the Thrifties for $6 at the whatever. Yeah. So, and you get 80% more benzoyl peroxide.
Good thinking.
Yeah, cut it with some mayonnaise and you're in good shape. Well, anyway, put that on. Didn't do a lot.
Oh, it didn't work?
No. But once we got the orbital sander and smoothed it out, put a nice coat of primer on my face.
I thought you said dried the hell out of it.
Hey, it did dry it out, but it still does look like a big red dried,
patch.
Christ. Did you have zits when you were in high school?
Sure.
Me too. I hated that. You know what? I never had it bad. I just had it, and the ones I had, I just went at so ferociously, it just stood right out. You know what I mean? I'd squeeze it and grab it. I wish I'd learned about the lancing technique back then. That really works. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back.
I feel so liquidy.
Really? Why? You're listening to LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. LoveLine will be right back.
Hey. Chicks are getting a Gemology, Drew.
Yeah.
It's really it's the equivalent to travel agent. A couple of jobs chicks do because they just want to, not because they have to.
Yeah, Gemology.
Nah, it's not a real job. Chicks who like jewelry work in they become gemologists. Please, we got to do away with this. $4,000 for some little rock does nothing. Falls into disposal. Oh, what a conspiracy. 2 months salary. Please.
Ooh, and you're in power.
Please.
You're going to break that.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, I'm not rich, but I make some pretty good dough. 2 months salary for me. Buy a goddamn condo. I'll buy a ring. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Please. You guys should all be ashamed of yourselves. And you guys out there who work in these jewelry stores, these are all guys. Uncle Toms, sellouts. You hear me? You're caving in. You know what I'm saying? It's like a black guy driving a slave ship or something. You're selling out to the man. Should all be women working in that field. Guys, call yourself men working at a jewelry store, talking about engagement rings, talking about gemology. You make me sick. Okay.
Shall we go on? Calls.
Nah, that's something else I wanted to talk about.
I know, I'm sure, but let's go to calls anyway.
Let me just say something about travel agents. All you yentas over there at Hoffman Travel who busted my balls for the 6 months I worked there when I was 19, can kiss my ass. Oh, they all must have hit menopause by now. And let me tell you, they were evil bitches back when they were in their prime. I can only imagine. Oh, I worked in a travel agency for 6 months with like your wife, Drew, times 25, and then 25 of them. Just a bunch of screaming yentas. Where's Merv Griffin's tickets? I don't know. Merv got to get on a flight to Reno. I don't know. I put him on you. Merv's assistant just called, and he has not received it. An hour later, they find it under their blotter on their desk. Now it's funny. It's the most miserable I've ever been in my life.
My wife is not like that. She's not like that.
No. But if there were 25 of her in the same room, you'd be miserable. You know what I'm saying?
They'd kill each other, that's all.
That's true, and they kill you first. All right. Now, actually, I got to call your wife. She did something very nice. She got me some kind of frequent flyer or something.
Oh, she got you that?
Yeah, I think. I got to call her. She needs my birth date.
Oh, she's getting you all that status.
Yeah.
See?
Camille, yes, I know. She's a saint.
Yeah.
I'm going to call her. Camille, I'm going to have my secretary call her. Camille, what's going on?
Oh, well, thank you guys for getting to my call.
All right.
I'm kind of in a weird, I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. I don't think wow. Okay, here I go. I have got a 5-month-old little baby boy, and his father thinks that I should be living with him, and he should be taking care of him, but yet he's on drugs and won't really, make the commitment to me to quit doing drugs. He thinks that I should just be there, and then he'll quit on his own without me telling him to do it because...
That will never happen.
Right, huh?
That will never, ever happen.
What drugs?
Just like cocaine and pot and drinking and...
Except for that. He left out heroin.
Smoking cigarettes, All
right, it's only going to get worse, and you need to completely stay away from him insofar as he is in his disease. And make it clear to him that if he gets some treatment, and if he gets into recovery, and if he establishes a sober life for a few months, then you'll be in his life.
Yeah, real easy.
But you have to...
he gets sober, you move in. It's real easy.
You have everything to do when they're involved in their recovery, nothing to do with them when they're in their disease. That's it, period.
Hey,
and believe me, that's best for your child, too, now.
What's wrong with you that you're hooking up with this guy?
Oh, I don't exactly know. Isn't that the question? I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm not sure. I guess I'm a fixer, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Your dad doing a little boozing?
Dad's an alcoholic?
I didn't know my dad.
Oh.
Was he... Did they think he was
got a coincidence going here, because I don't know if he's going to know his dad either.
But I've always thought I'd been happy that
What an amazing coincidence.
That's the cycle.
How random can you get, Drew?
Amazing. All these calls... Every call on the show seems to be a random coincidence.
What a coincidence.
It's a very depressing show, you guys, to realize how screwed up people really are.
Thank God I talk about my barber for 20 minutes in between you depressing calls.
Anybody ever say your dad was an alcoholic?
I don't think he was, but I don't know.
Well, what was your mom doing?
My mom's a lesbian.
Ooh.
Does that matter?
Did she get involved with any other addicts or alcoholics?
My mom used to smoke pot, and she used to, but she doesn't now.
But did she get involved with other addicts or alcoholics?
No.
Okay.
No. Actually, she was a really pretty good mom, I think.
Hey, Camille, it's just mom and dad. Camille, listen to me. Don't have any more kids.
Well, this is my second baby, too.
Oh.
I know. All your callers.
And by the way,
what are you doing?
By the way, your mom being a pretty good mom, she just failed that.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, but she does not qualify.
Listen, I'm telling you, when I'm in power, I will consider people like Camille an enemy of the state.
Well, I drink bottled water.
I will. Oh.
Your method won't work with me.
Listen, I will. My team will pay a visit to you. Yeah. They will hold you down and inject you.
Maybe she's.
Please, where's your other kid?
He's with my mom.
Oh boy, getting a nice dose of that lesbian love.
Is she? Are you supporting yourself?
Not right now, not really.
How do you survive?
I'm living on my mom's property in a trailer, but I have to move.
Okay, Adam, you're not.
Why do you have to move?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because I make it too hard on my mom's relationship with her girlfriend. Because I'm lazy.
What's that mean? You're just sitting out there in your trailer.
Because I won't go to school, and
Yeah.
I don't have a job.
You're not lazy. You're depressed.
Probably, huh?
Something going on, man.
That's depression.
I'm quitting smoking pot, though.
Yeah, I can hear the pot. I hear the pot laugh. Until you get that mood problem is going to get worse and worse the more you keep smoking
Has anyone from the state or the government contacted you about not having any more kids?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what needs to go on. Listen to me, everybody. God damn it. Your kids, believe me, they're just lumps of clay that you mold. That's it. And whatever shape you put them in, shape them like a monster if you want. Shape them like a lesbian, shape them gay, shape them angry, shape them whatever. That's all they are. Whatever you make them. Listen, Drew's got 3 kids that are growing up in Utopia. I bet one of them ends up in prison. It's all, Jordan. It's all you can do. Now imagine these bastards. She's got a 5-year-old. She's got a newborn and living on a trailer. Lesbian mom, an angry girlfriend are raising it. For Christ's sake, you're destroying the world. Do you hear me? Stop it. Stop having the kids. Stop it. Don't do it for me. Do it for you.
I was just thinking, if she hadn't had kids, we could at least begin to be empathic for her and worried about her and say, hey, Camille, let's get you fixed. But now it's like, hey, wait a minute.
Listen,
you're dangerous
if
now.
she didn't have kids, you'd say, look, take a couple of classes over at the community college.
Go to MA.
I hate to admit it, but go get this. Go get your GED. Go to MA. Go blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Take a secretary
And you feel
class.
bad for it.
Something like this. Now it's just like, hey, stop doing damage.
Yeah.
It's a tourniquet. Forget about the career. I just want to stop the bleeding. All right. We got to have something in place that stops. Camille has to stop having kids. Why does she get that right? What is that? What is that? Almost used the F word there. Crappy government. Oh. Although you want to drive a car, buddy, you got to blow somebody at the DMV. You want to drive a car. Oh yeah, you got to get your registration. You got to pay this. You got to pay taxes. You got everything all the time. All the time. And you want to switch to a motorcycle, you need a whole separate license. You want to drive a truck, that's another license. Do we have to sweat those kind of details when it comes to motoring, and we just go ahead and populate this planet with a bunch of screwed up kids that are just growing up angry? Please. What the hell is going on? Why don't we talk about this? Why are all you politicians such pussies? You sit around talking about the bread basket and the melting pot. Meanwhile, I got a bunch of screwballs populating the country. I get up on that podium, hey, screwball, stop having kids. Thank you. Adam in 99. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, good night.
Thank you for the delayed applause. Applause. We'll be back.
I feel so liquidy.
Really? Why? You're listening to LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. LoveLine will be right back. LoveLine on 92.1 KFMA.
We got some animal crackers. Hey, Drew, I didn't buy those for you, buddy.
I'm sorry. I grabbed some more.
Easy. All right, we're going to take ourselves a 10-second station identification, top of the hour LoveLine break, and we'll be back with more of the show in 10 seconds.
This is LoveLine on
Radio
Station.
Illegal broadcasters.
92.1 KFMA, Green Valley, Tucson.
Hey, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew over there. Phone number for LoveLine, 1-800-LVE. 191. Rachel.
Yeah?
You're 16?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
All right.
I've just never been on the radio.
That's all right.
My friend died last night.
What happened?
She committed suicide.
Oh, boy.
And, sorry, I'm just kind of shaky. Oh, it's
How'd she kill herself?
She got her guns or her father's gun,
Oh, it's rare for a girl to do
and
that.
she shot herself.
Was she doing drugs or? a problem?
No, she was just really depressed because her boyfriend and her had a fight because she was confused sexually. 'Cause she thought she might have been bi, and her boyfriend got mad, and so.
Well, she might have been what?
Huh?
She might have been what?
She was.
Bye.
Bi.
Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Had she
bi,
been?
yes.
Was she abused when she was younger or anything like that?
Huh?
Was she abused when she was younger or any of that?
Well, she just moved out of her father's because he beat her, and
Okay.
so she's at her mother's now.
All right, we got the picture. Okay.
Huh?
Got the picture.
Drew, don't ask too many questions with Rachel. Here.
No, we need to understand I mean, was this somebody totally,
Something was, yeah, she was abused.
Okay.
All right, so Rachel,
Yeah.
what's going on with you now?
Well, her boyfriend is starting to hit on me and stuff. I mean, today.
Well, all right, this is why I asked the kind of question that. No, Rachel, now we're going to talk in an abstraction about your friend for a second. Somebody who has been through the history that she had been through would find a boyfriend who is an abusive a-hole, basically, and he's proving himself to be that.
Well, the body's not even cold yet. How long is it? You said it was yesterday?
Yeah.
Last night, she tried calling you guys last night too, but she
Ugh.
wasn't accepted.
Oh, please don't personalize it. Listen, I feel bad enough.
I'm sorry.
She wasn't accepted.
Well, somebody told her she wasn't able to get on, or they couldn't accept the call.
Why not? She said she was going to kill herself? What was her question? Do you
She
know?
was curious about her sexuality, whether she was bi or not. She didn't know, and she told me a lot of things. But she killed herself at about 11:30 or so.
Well, how is her boyfriend hitting on you already? I don't understand that.
Today at school.
Today at school?
All right, but just understand what vermin he is. He's
Well, what is he doing?
He put his arm around me at lunch and kissed my cheek and was hitting on me, and I just burst out into tears.
Was he just trying to make you feel better for the loss you've had?
And he was very blunt about him wanting to have sex with me.
All right, this guy is like
Was it her long-term boyfriend?
A boyfriend of about 2 weeks.
all right.
She lost her virginity to him and too. And
She what?
She lost her virginity to him and everything too.
Oh boy, what a mess.
Yeah. Well, listen, the whole thing's a mess, but 2 weeks is not her boyfriend.
I understand, but the guy's still a vermin. The guy's scum. I mean, just stay away from this guy. Don't even worry about him. Just be away. Just stay away from him.
Yeah.
I mean, the issue is dealing with the loss of your friend. And do you have other friends you can sort of rely upon and lean on and talk to?
I'm sorry, you keep on the voice.
Do you have other friends that you can rely upon during this time? People you can talk with and be connected with as you deal with this loss?
Just like a couple.
Okay, it's important that you rely on your friends at a time like this. I mean, this is heavy stuff. I mean, you can get depressed too. There's even theories that this kind of behavior can be sort of infectious amongst young people, that people copycat each other. And it's a very serious time that you and your friends need to be together, support each other, that whatever resources are available at your school you take advantage of. It's painful. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it doesn't have to destroy anyone's life. You can get through it and grow from it.
Yeah.
And
well, everyone flirts with this, but don't act on it, because soon you'll graduate to the point where you want to kill everyone else. That's where I'm at now. There was a time I wanted to kill myself. Now I wish everyone else would die. Do you think it's a bit of a graduation, Drew?
I'm reading a lot about violence in our culture, and I just am appalled.
No. Rachel, no, boy. Yeah. Hang with your friends. Stay away from this guy.
Tell your parents how you feel, too. Maybe they can help. I have we didn't talk to Rachel about her history.
Sneaking suspicion she doesn't have a great relationship with her folks. Yeah. But this guy is to overtly hit on missing. Rachel's got some drama worked into it. And it's a horrible situation, but there's something missing here. Because even...
Whatever it is, though. There could be no piece big enough to justify.
I know. I'm just saying, guys who operate, they operate.
They might even try something at her funeral. You know what I mean? That's how pathetic.
Get a little something in the casket.
That's how pathetic guys are.
No, but here's what I'm saying, Drew. Guys who operate.
Yeah.
And you don't operate by making these overt movements and making an ass of yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? All the guys I knew who were a-holes were a-holes, but they didn't come stomping right in the front door with their a-holenicity. They slither in. So I'm surprised that this a-hole would even tempt that. And all right, anyway. All right. Jeez, could you imagine? What, the girl, your girlfriend commits suicide that night? I mean, late that night and the next day at school, you're putting the moves on? There's something here. All right. Caitlin?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on there? You're 17.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Hey, all right.
I just wanted to tell you guys are like God's gift to radio, I swear to God. You
Thanks.
guys are just, you guys are just a gift, seriously. I don't mean to praise you as much as...
You must live in a small rural town somewhere. Where do you live?
Actually, Wisconsin, so yeah. Kind of like in the middle of nowhere. So,
what's the temperature out there now?
I'd say about negative 14 right now.
That is cold. I want you to think about this. The difference between... I was telling my wife this the other day. We were in Colorado. It was like negative 18.
Yeah.
And I said, the difference between negative 18 and freezing is the difference between...
That's 50 degrees.
Difference between 50 degrees and 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Think about how different that feels, okay?
Hey, Drew. Drew actually stumbled onto something. Wow.
Dr. Drew is right.
That's heavy, dude.
And if you feel it, boy, people are saying, oh, my God, this really feels different. It's cold. Hey, it's a 50-degree difference there.
Hey, you know what always amazes me about weather? Hold on a second, Caitlin.
Okay.
You know when it's like 100 degrees, it's really hot, but it's 100 degrees and life goes on. But you up the temperature to like 117 and railroad tracks start buckling and stuff.
Right.
And it's weird to me that just a couple degrees, 15, 20 degrees, stuff shuts down, stuff stops working. There's power outages, transformers blow up. It's not that much.
It's a threshold.
You'd think it would be another 150 degrees before the metal started twisting and the transformers started blowing up. It's just the difference between, 100 and you get up to like 125 and stuff starts exploding.
Yeah.
I was kind of interested. The fuel starts vaporizing. It's kind of weird. It doesn't seem like enough. I want a bigger buffer. I want to be like 200 before the S really hits the fan. All right, Caitlin. All
right, now back to Caitlin.
Okay. Well, I also wanted to say, Adam, that when you were talking earlier, like you've talked about it, I've been listening to you guys for like a year now. You used to talk about your garbage days or something like that and how you'd have to go all the way down the stairs.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Don't start him again.
Seriously, like I was all over that. I was like...
He did that on TV. He did that on TV one day when he went through like 4 shows.
Oh, God.
Really? He remember you came to that day, taping day, and you had a thing about the garbage man?
Listen.
It went on for 4 shows.
I swear to God, the garbage, because of the holidays, came Saturday morning last week. So not Friday, it's Saturday morning, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. And the thing that was funny is I went down, I got 4 garbage cans on wheels, and I live on an incline. I live on a hill. And these guys just plow. I don't even think they collect the garbage. I think they just plow into it, and it sticks to the bumper of the truck long enough until they slow down. It must fall off down the street. But I walked down my stairs, saw my garbage cans. They were upright. They were sort of facing forward, and they were semi-in line. And I thought to myself, wow, that's queer. I thought, that is bizarre. I wonder what happened. And I couldn't figure out what happened, why they weren't thrown down the street like they normally are. And I talked to a friend of mine later on, and he goes, yeah, I swung by your house to get something out of the garage Saturday, and I saw your cans spread out, so I went and put them back up for you. And I thought, that's right. That now, it's crystal clear now. Because they knock the goddamn cans down and roll them down the street. $50,000 a year to you join the Pro Bowlers Tour, you pussies.
Well, you know
that's what they should do. They could drive their truck down those lanes. They just take them out every time.
Our trucks come by because the roads are all with ice and snow and everything like that. So it's really disgusting. It's really bad.
Listen, all I want is this: right on the application. If you have difficulty dealing with garbage and or getting in and out of the truck, do not take this job, because that's one of the requirements of this job. You haul your lazy, overpaid ass out of the truck and you throw my goddamn garbage away.
Okay.
Pussies.
So on with my question.
Get paid more than cops and school teachers, these bastards. Do your job. Sorry.
It's all right. Actually, I've been, like, the past couple months or something, I've been in a relationship with this guy for, like, a year or so. And the past couple months, I'll get disgusted with him at certain points. Like, he doesn't even have to be around. Just thinking about him just kind of makes me shiver. And I'm wondering what that's because of. And
It's because you're done with this relationship.
Well,
Really. At your age, it's very hard to judge when you're done and to know how your feelings are changing and to know how to get out of relationships.
Well, but there's no other guys around here, you know?
He's your only chance for a relationship?
Well, in a way. I mean, I go to a prep girls' school.
Kaylin, you need to be alone then, because this is not a healthy situation.
I can't be alone, though.
That's even more important than to be alone.
Listen, you don't like this guy.
Okay. Well, then also I had another question about...
and by the way, that isn't fear of intimacy. You've been with the guy for a year. You're 17. That's a substantial ability.
That's 8 years to me and Drew.
That's right. What?
Here's the intimacy part. Okay, my dad is around and everything but like we talk sports and we talk just basic stuff, but like I never want to get close or anything to any guys or anything and I don't know where that's coming from. Like I don't even like, you know how your parents used to, kiss me goodnight or whatever, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I hate that. I'm okay with my mom, but just with my dad or any other adult males, I freak out.
How about with your boyfriend?
A little bit. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't ring of something specific. I mean, you're 17, you're still developing, you're still figuring out who you are in a relationship. I mean, you may be pissed off at men for some reason, whatever. But I mean, that's all sort of age-appropriate kinds of feelings and behaviors.
Let me tell you something,
This
Drew.
will change with time, but this relationship is done, I think.
I paid about $275,000 in taxes last year.
I'm proud of you.
I want to be part of the Platinum Can Club. Do you understand? For that kind of money? Why do I get the same retarded service a guy on welfare gets? I don't like that. I want my own garbage man. I don't even want a can. When I'm done with garbage, I want to throw it over my wall like I'm on a cruise ship. And I want some guy just cleaning up after me.
This is going to screw with your platform when you run for office because you're advocating a caste society, basically, here, Adam.
No, I'm going to kiss my ass society.
All
That's what I'm advocating.
Keep going.
You get what you put in. That's what I want. That's all I want. Matt?
Yes.
23.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Actually, it's kind of funny the way that Dr. Drew just said that about the caste society, because what I want to talk to you about is your ideas on birth control and who should and should not have children.
That's right. We'll put it in the water.
So I understand what you're saying about people who are not deemed worthy should not have children?
That's right.
Who is going to be the ones to decide this?
Me. Listen, here will be the deciding factor. I'll break it down this way.
Okay.
You make, and I haven't quite worked this out, but it'll be something like combined income for you and I would say your husband or wife, but live-in gal pal would probably be more fitting. You guys combined income under 27 grand a year? No kids, not eligible. You have to make over 27 for one. Now, the next bracket would be like 35. You're allowed another, and so on and so forth. You want to have 3 kids, you have to be making into the 50s. So, A, there's an income attached to it. B, there's you have to provide. You have to provide proof of insurance. Just like, hey, you want to drive a car? You got to provide proof of insurance. You get pulled over, you don't have insurance, you can't drive your car, right?
How about providing?
You have to have health care insurance.
What do you think they should have to provide evidence that they can structure their life, that they aren't just living off somebody else's money, that they can work?
Right.
And
you can't have a extensive criminal history. You can't have a long list of substance abuse,
Adam,
DUIs and all that stuff.
Or if you do, there may be ways to recover from that, right?
We'll need a deposit.
Are you Jewish? You're Jewish, aren't you?
No.
What's your religious...
Because I got nappy hair and a sense of humor. Don't make me Jewish. I'm
What
ID.
is your religious preference?
What am I? I don't have anything.
Okay, do you believe in God?
No.
Okay, well, just basically what I was going to say is what some people would say is a God-given right to reproduce.
Yeah.
How can we say that we can judge who should and should not have that right?
Easy. You can't pay for your kids, you can't have kids. Hey, it's my God-given right to drive a car, isn't it?
Not necessarily.
Why not? God invented the technology, invented he gave birth to Henry Ford. You know, he invented a car. My neighbor's got one. Why don't I get one of those?
Well, what you were saying before about different licenses, obviously a person who does not have any idea how to drive a motorcycle is not going to be given a license for a motorcycle.
That's right.
However,
you have no idea how to raise a kid, you shouldn't have a kid.
However, you're not born with a motorcycle, so why should you have a right to drive that motorcycle?
Listen to me. There's a lot of things you could do that are so-called God-given rights, which is just a bunch of retarded babble to me, God-given right. What the hell does that mean? You know what I mean? I mean, everyone hides behind that retarded notion. It's all Patton talked about when he was wiping out Nazis. God had a plan for him. It's to blow up a few panzer divisions today. Please. That means nothing to me, God-given right.
Well, personally, I've had a bad childhood. I did not have good molding. And I don't see that I would be a fit parent, and
we deem you fit already. We haven't barely
deem
talked
you fit.
to you. Yeah. You go to school?
Yes. Well, no, I'm not currently enrolled in school. I was in the Army for 3 years, got out of that quick.
All right, you have a job?
Yeah, I'm at a job. I'm trying to get some money ahead so I can start taking some classes.
All right, Matt, you passed Adam's muster.
Hey, listen, it ain't taking much. I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel. And listen to me, too, when I talk about my plan. It ain't for me. It's for you, all you poor retards out there knocking out 5 and 6 kids. You guys can't get... You'll never get ahead of yourselves. Look at... You want to look at a bunch of crappy countries? You want to know what the through line to those crappy countries are? Too many kids. Not enough... Daddy ain't bringing home enough bread, and he's got too many mouths to feed. That's it.
What I wanted to say was, I personally... I believe in partaking of a bit of herb like you do.
Sure. That's my God-given right.
I go ahead and...
I do get into God when it comes to smoking weed.
Oh, absolutely. And I leave some seeds in, so I don't mind if I become sterile because I have no plans on having children.
By the way, that seed thing is a load of crap, but go ahead.
Well, what do you mean?
Oh, this wife tale that seeds make you says BS.
No, you want to tell me how it works?
Yeah, it lowers your testosterone levels.
Oh. Mike knows this. Seed, you put the Bic lighter on the seed pops, you take out an eye, you lose your vision, you can't find the hole.
I see. Okay.
It doesn't make you sterile, you just can't get laid.
I see.
Hold on. Where the hell was Mike?
2.
Oh,
Matt.
Matt?
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah.
But actually, what I just wanted to say was I decided myself that I don't see myself as being a fit parent, so I should not have children.
Good man.
But is there a way we can educate so that people can see their own lives a little more clearer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's way down the road.
Now, wouldn't that be better than just...
Yes.
It would be.
Yeah, absolutely, but the government...
It would be, but it's like saying...
Adam suggests the government should create forces that require people to move in a healthy direction,
Matt,
that's all.
Listen, you got a dog on the loose and it bit 10 people? Isn't there a way we can educate it? No, we'll put it down. We got to save some money. We can educate people, not this generation, though. They're already screwed. It's... When somebody is raised in horror, in trauma, in chaos, when somebody's got a alcoholic dad and a heroin-riddled mom, when Uncle Lou's been sodomizing them for a couple of years, starting on their 3rd birthday, and they're 17 now, education has a little more difficulty finding a home in that mind. And these are people that just need to be sterilized. Just listen, don't screw up any more people. We'll worry about future generations, but you can't educate those people. Listen, we're doing them a favor. Why do I get in power, Drew? I'm taking you with me. You're going to be my first lady.
Taking me out?
Mike, I'm going to make you like a minister of masturbation or something.
Megan, what's going on?
Hi. To answer my main question, I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yes, ma'am.
You've talked about opiate addiction.
Yes.
My mother recently hurt her back. Well, she's not my biological mother.
Mm-hmm.
But she's been taking a lot of those medicines for pain, and she's just been laying in bed.
Vicodin, codeine, something like that?
Well, she's taking Percocet and like a couple other things.
Got it. Okay.
And get shots of...
Demerol?
Yes.
That's bad news.
It's been going on since, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days before Christmas.
Is she an alcoholic?
No, her father was, though.
Okay, so she may have... She's... It's very suspicious circumstance. Very suspicious.
I'm worried about her, you know.
I mean, once somebody gets opiate addicted, it is. Alcoholics.
She hasn't been taking them that long.
No, but if she's an alcoholic, that biology with those drugs can get activated.
She is not. She very rarely drinks.
No, being an alcoholic doesn't have anything to do with using alcohol. It's a genetic predisposition that's inherited from your parents. And if she has that gene and she gets strung out on opiates because of a back injury, it's going to be a rocky road unless somebody.
Sure, you got to work out this whole alcoholic thing because it's like, no. Listen. Being bulimic has nothing to do with bulimia. You know what I'm saying? It's very confusing for the kids.
I understand that. It's that I'm trying to make it clear that alcoholism is a term that our culture is. It really doesn't have that much to do with the medical reality. It's a genetic predisposition at some stage of the disease, and you don't have to use alcohol to be an alcoholic. And if you get exposed to a more addictive substance, that's the one that will take off.
All right.
I would suggest, Megan, that you talk to her doctors about your concerns so they are notified, they're on alert immediately that this may be getting out of hand, because she may need a consult with a psychiatrist or a addictionologist.
Yeah.
Make sure this doesn't get way away from her. I suspect she's been on other drugs in the past. You may not be aware of it, but this is just something resurfacing and progressing.
Right. Okay. We're going to take a little break here?
Please.
Who are we going to talk to when we come back?
This one.
Oh, dude. Touch the screen. It's kind of weird. Sarah, she's 22. The condom broke during sex. How
much risk for STD?
Oh. Is that the much sign?
It's at. How at risk is she?
And you translating that to much. Oh, see? You readers. Such show-offs. Always reading. Hey, guess what I read? I read a good book this weekend. Hot dogs.
I feel so liquidy.
Really? Why?
You're listening to LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. LoveLine will be right back.
On 92.1 KFMA.
What happened to him? Did he die? Hey, Mike. What's the name of the guy who was the ex-major league catcher who, turned into sort of a comedian commentator, Don, is that Don something? He was on, every Bud Light commercial and every Letterman appearance and, every show. It's like 5 years ago. I haven't really seen much of him lately.
The guy that used to call the Brewers games?
No.
No, I mean, this guy's big.
He was a player.
That's going to drive me nuts.
I'll think of it. Hold on a second.
Just think of the guys who were on the Miller Lite commercials.
He played a catcher in the major leagues for, 8 years. He was, a decent ball player, but not an outstanding ball player.
Who did he play for?
Jeez, I don't know what team he played for. And then he just made a living, just making jokes about how bad he was.
White hair?
Yeah.
I'll look it up. I know who you're talking about.
Why is it driving us nuts? This guy was on every commercial, hosted every one of those wacky animals things they put on Fox and all those other crappy shows. And I haven't seen the guy in
Bob
Eubank.
Bob
Euchre.
Euchre.
Bob Euchre. Okay. Remember when Bob Euchre? Thank you. Bob Euchre was on every TV commercial and every TV show for he was making appearances on Family Ties, and he was on Letterman.
He still calls Brewers games in Milwaukee.
Oh, really? Oh, you're right. But where's Euchre been the last 3 or 4 years? Do people just get tired of it? Okay.
He got a fax of a guy who asked a question about his girlfriend who was smoking pot and took hits on her, got an asthma attack while smoking pot, and took her inhaler and developed vivid hallucinations. It's kind of interesting. I've never heard of that. She had done acid before. I wonder if it... you know what? I bet you what this is that the beta-2 agonist in most inhalers will liberate fat and fatty acids, and maybe that caused a flashback of LSD, because there is a theory that...
Well, beta-2 agonist, didn't she play Endora and Bewitched?
Certain kinds of...
Thank you,
there's some theories that when fat is released...
Same day, that's amazing.
That may predispose to acid flashback, so I bet that's what it was. All right.
Okay. That it?
Yeah.
You done whacking off? Sarah?
Yes.
You're 22.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, about last week sometime, I was having sex with my boyfriend, and the condom broke. And he, when I first met him, had been getting treated for genital warts. And now I'm totally terrified that I have something. I have an appointment in a couple weeks to go to the doctor, but I'm just wondering if anything would show up that fast.
Possibly, but probably not. And take some time for the warts to show up.
Yeah, you're probably all right.
You're probably okay. Did he have any warts at the time of the exposure?
No.
And the wart virus, though, indeed, it could still be present. When there are not warts there, you're not necessarily going to be exposed.
How long after the condom broke did you realize the condom was broken?
Immediately afterwards, but
Did you take the morning after pill at that point?
no.
Are you pregnant?
I don't know. That's why I made the appointment.
You know about the morning after pill, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and take that?
When did this happen?
This happened last weekend.
Oh, man, you got 72 hours to take that damn thing. And I think you just missed that window.
Okay.
Why didn't you look into that? You're just going to keep your fingers crossed?
I just didn't think about it. I was more worried about diseases and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But you're aware of the high incidence of laptop computer theft at airports that McGruff has been warning you about. That's as long as that's carved into your psyche, I think we're okay.
Second I spoke, of course. Are you in Washington State, by any chance?
Excuse me?
Are you in Washington State, by any chance?
No, I'm in California.
In Washington, you just walk into the pharmacy or grocery store probably and pick up the Prevents or the these.
Why don't all states adopt that?
They may soon.
Yeah. You know why they don't?
The man doesn't want it to happen.
No, because they'll be using it like birth control. You know, it's always bizarre to me when guys, especially, guys get really uptight about what chicks are and aren't doing with their body, and we legalize this, and women will just be using abortion like birth control. Do you really think so?
Well, they do.
No, they don't.
They do.
Listen, you show me a broad who's effed up enough to have 10 abortions. I'm going to show you a broad I don't want to have 10 kids anyway. So, you know what? Do the math. What the hell do I care? And listen, if she wants to go get 50 abortions, that's her goddamn business. If she wants to destroy herself, fine. And how many of them really are going to do that? How many? It's that same stupid Kevorkian thing. Oh, you let Kevorkian do it. It's drive-through suicide on every corner now. Oh, yes. Doctors, they'll be undertakers. Oh, please. Megan.
Yeah.
You're 17.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Okay. Basically, when I was a sophomore and my best friend was a junior, she had to move all the way across the country. And it's been about pretty much 2 years. And I'm still, really sad about it.
Oh, boy. So it triggered some sort of depression that you haven't recovered from yet.
I was on Zoloft
for
about, a couple months.
But
But it just seemed to put me in a daze, so they took me off of it.
So it's not your friend, though. It's more your issue.
Well, I've always had a lot of trouble, getting close to people, because when I do, they always seem to leave.
You had somebody die when you were younger?
Well, when I was a freshman, my boyfriend committed suicide. But that was, the first death that I ever experienced.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend committed suicide?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, how'd he kill himself?
He shot himself.
That's the young boys tend to do that.
Yeah.
The women don't so much.
No. When I was a kid, I banged on a bullet with a hammer until it went off.
You're kidding.
No. I sat next to a bullet that I found, a top shelf of the garage. Me and my friend Rodney, Philadelphia.
What were you thinking? See what happens?
Oh, well, it's going to go on. Yeah, let's make a bang. I was 6, maybe 7.
Where'd it go?
I don't know, but it went off. I mean, we put the bullet down. We set it down, it's like hunting ammunition. Set it down on the side of the house. Remember very clearly, the dog run there, the cement pathway. We both sat, sort of Indian style, next to it, and we just beat on it with a hammer. And eventually the thing went off. Weird. I was hitting it in the middle of the bullet, though. I wasn't smacking where the primer was or anything. I was just whacking it in the middle. But eventually smacked the end, and the thing fired off.
And it took off, right?
I don't really know. I'm assuming it did. It made the noise. It went. Yeah.
I am so scared for my kids.
Yeah.
Tonight I had to changing light bulbs, and I said, "Hey, watch out! I'm changing a light bulb. Don't stay away. Nobody turn the lights on or anything." Broke the thing off in the socket.
Yeah.
tried the potato, tried everything else. So finally I had to get a metal instrument and go up there. 2 seconds later, my kid starts flicking the light.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. You shouldn't have told him. All right, so, Megan, you're depressed.
Okay.
Yeah. But don't put it all on the shoulders of this friend that left 2 years ago.
Well, that's not like all it is, though. I mean,
That's right.
That's right.
That's what we're telling
That's
you.
what we're telling you.
I know that I have like problems getting close to people.
Yes.
So, could that? All right. I was adopted when I was really young.
How young?
I don't know who my birth father was.
How young?
Oh, I was 3 months,
Okay.
and then I was actually adopted when I was 3 years.
Were you in a foster home or something until then?
I was in several foster homes, but
All right, so you could have trouble, obviously, making attachments to people, having had all that moving around at those ages.
well, I used to not have trouble, but when everybody was like taken away from me, I was adopted with my sister, and she was taken away from me.
What happened to her?
My parents put a restraining order on her
How come?
because she's a sociopath.
What did she do?
She beat us up.
So she has the true attachment disorder, which is what kids, like the Romanian infants and stuff. There's a part of your brain that develops when you're an infant, a small child, as a result of attachments to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have intimate, close, consistent relationships with a parental figure, then that have to be your parent, but it's got to be a consistent, caring relationship. These pathways never turn on, and you lose the capacity for empathy for other people, and you can be quite violent, abusive, and it can be horrible.
Yeah, well, listen, this is why I'm trying to implement my plan. You're a mess when this happens.
Right, but Megan, would you say it's
criminal?
Get back to the people that are prescribing the medication.
Yeah.
Get more professional help.
Yeah.
You need a
Sure,
control.
didn't you ask her about 10 minutes ago she'd ever experienced
I
any
know.
separation from anyone a long time ago?
I know.
She thought about it for a while and said, boyfriend, 10th grade, but nothing before that.
Yeah.
And then went on to explain that her sister was taken away from her, or they were separated.
All kinds of stuff.
And adopted, and then, readopted. And
foster
I mean,
homes.
but yeah, I mean, think about what her reality was.
I know.
And think about how she answered your question. I mean, there's a ton.
I know, a ton. And she really needs professional help, because she needs a controlled relationship where she can have intimate feelings about a therapist or somebody in a controlled situation where she doesn't have to be frightened by loss.
Yeah, it's like someone saying, did you ever experience any condensation? You have a leak in your roof? Something you had to put a pan under? No. One time we stayed in a cabin, there's a leak in the roof. And then went on to explain how they lived under a waterfall for 15 years.
My favorite, we had that one on that TV show. Remember that woman that had her back to us, was looking at the screen, and she was talking about the boyfriend, and she was disgusted by him. We went, hey, what's up with you? Nothing. My life was perfect. Perfect.
Right.
We called her up during the commercial break. I'm perfect. My parents were great. My real mom, though, sent me to a foster home when I was 5. And other than that, so.
Yeah, Drew and I will not accept that we're wrong about an instinct or a feeling that we have. And during the TV show, if someone's in the audience and we don't get the answer we want out of them, we'll actually pull them up during the commercial and sweat them. Come here. You. Yes, come here. Okay. Listen to me. I know it ain't getting out on the air, and you just made an ass of both of us, but tell us what's going on, because we don't buy it.
And inevitably, it all comes pouring.
Oh, yes. We'll sweat them. That's the most effort I put in the show, by the way, is during the commercial. Sarah,
yeah,
you're 15.
yeah,
You're involved in the love triangle.
yep.
Yeah.
And we're going to break.
Okay.
Huh?
Hold on a sec.
Okay.
Okay. Hang on a second.
Okay.
All right. We're going to take a little break. We'll find out what kind of love triangle you can get into when you're 15 when we talk to Sarah.
This is LoveLine.
LoveLine will be right back.
All right. That's Orgy, right? I am so down with the scene. And so is Sherry, Mike, and Ann, and Drew. Sometimes when we're not in the studio, before the show, after the show, we'll just, we'll sit in the other studio and we'll listen to some new samples, some dope stuff.
What did we listen to last night? Come on. What was that?
I think we're listening to Hooked on a Feeling by BJ What's his name? Oh, we're so pathetic. Oh, we just sit and listen to crap from the 70s. B.J. Thomas. Yeah, Ann brought in the best of Olivia Newton-John, or at least got it out. What the hell song? Olivia Newton-John, yeah. Olivia Newton-John has some great songs and some really horrible songs. I mean, I Don't Like Physical. Yeah, that's it. To me, Olivia Newton-John is, I lump them in with Hall & Oates, which is a couple of classics, and then you got Maneater, everybody. And not only Maneater, but, what's that other really, Drew, I'm going to work on this one. I'm going to come up with another really horrid Hall & Oates song.
There were a number.
Sarah, smile. Sarah, you're 15.
Hi.
I'm just talking about you. All right, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. I got to think of this Hall & Oates song.
Okay.
You go ahead, Astra.
What's up?
Well, okay. I've been going out with this guy for almost 6 months.
Oh, Family Man.
Huh?
Oh,
yeah. Leave me alone. I'm a family man, and my bark is much worse than my bite.
Bug.
Family Man. It was like they should both just be slapped for that mess, that abortion. All right, go ahead, Sarah.
Okay, I've been involved with this guy for like almost 6 months, and before my relationship started with him, I got really close to my friend because we've been really close for 3 or 4 years now, and I don't know, before I started dating him, I started having feelings towards her, but then me and him started dating and we got really close, and just about 2 weeks ago, we all went to Knott's Berry Farm together, and she's been telling me that she really liked him for a while, which really pissed me off. But we went to Knott's together, and we were on the log ride, and we all just kind of kissed each other, and it was really weird because I'd been wanting to do that for a while.
You know, that overly chlorinated water's a real aphrodisiac, Drew. You mix that and a couple of churros together. Okay, Sarah, go ahead.
What's your question?
Well, because I don't know. It's just I used to want to really get I don't know. I used to want to do stuff with her, but it just really pissed me off that she wanted to do stuff with him.
Does she know you're attracted to her?
Yeah.
Wait, to her?
Yeah.
She's a lesbian?
No.
She bisexual?
No.
Then why would you expect any reciprocal?
Huh?
Why would you expect her to be anything other than attracted to boys?
Because she's never done anything with anybody.
All right, well, she's going to eventually. She's heterosexual, and she likes boys, and she likes this guy.
Yeah, but
Sarah, you're not going out with him because you're interested in other people, right?
But I've been going out with him for 6 months.
Okay, does she know that?
Huh?
Does she know that?
Yeah.
And yet you've told her that you're interested in her.
Well, I told her I liked her.
How serious do you think she thinks you are about this guy if you're sort of...
She knows I'm serious with him.
Well, we don't think you're serious.
How serious can you be when you're trying to get in her pants?
I don't know. It's I like her.
What's up, Sarah, with all this boundarylessness and grandiosity? I mean, what's going on here? Chaos? Why?
Why?
Why these chaotic relationships? Why the lack of boundaries?
I don't know.
What's going on with the family?
I don't know. Not much.
The one you come from?
The one I come from? Not much. My parents are still together. I have good relationships with both of them.
Yeah. Well, why are you sort of into everybody? I mean, how serious can you be about him when you're physically interested in her at the same time?
And why do you engage in these sort of chaotic relationships?
I don't know. I don't know. I just have feelings towards her, but...
Well, stay with us here and what's going on here that sort of makes you this way. Because it's not reasonable. I mean, the kinds of drama you're creating here is of your own making.
Yeah.
And we got to figure out why you need to do that. All right? And why you can't come out.
All right. Well, let's just start getting. Does anyone drink in your family?
My uncle.
Yeah.
Did he ever do anything to you?
Not to me, no.
Who did he do what to?
He beat his wife and all 7 of their children.
Did any of those children do anything to you?
No. The middle child lives with me now. He's like my little brother now, practically.
Mm-hmm. 7 kids this a-hole has?
Yeah.
He beats all of them and his wife.
Yep.
Great.
And this was
second one of those kids kills somebody else. I want this guy jailed.
Whose brother was he?
He's my. Well, he's not like blood related to me. His wife is my dad's sister.
His wife's your dad's sister. What's your dad like?
Nice.
He wasn't physically rough with you guys?
No, never.
Your mom?
Nope.
No boozing?
Like a drink once a month.
You're virgin?
No.
When did you lose your virginity?
About 5 months ago.
14?
No, I was 15.
Nah?
I was 15.
What month you born?
January
8th. See. So you're going to be 16 in 2 days?
Yep.
All right. You dodged that bullet. All right. Well, anyway, listen, you just screwed up on your own. Stop it.
Okay.
You like this guy, get serious about the guy. Tell her you're serious about the guy. Tell her to back off, but then don't be chasing her around.
And keep appropriate boundaries in your friendship. She's not interested in a sexual relationship with you, and you're going to ruin that friendship by pushing a kind of relationship on her that she does not want.
Jeff.
Yeah.
You're 25.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Nada. I was going to bring you up to date on Bob Euchre.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. He, like the gentleman in the background was saying, he does commentary for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, that was Engineer Mike.
Engineer Mike. Yeah, he was dead on, but it's hilarious to hear it because instead of like normal commentators where they both talk at the same time, they take innings.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end of the game, you can tell Bob has had a few Miller Lights, and it's great if they go into extra innings because he's blitzed. And
that's why he's not doing other stuff.
Exactly. But, he did do Mr. Belvedere. I think that's the show you were thinking of.
Right.
Yeah. He made guest appearances on many shows. Hey, isn't that an amazing idea for a sitcom premise? You get this really stuffy upper crust type old school butler guy moving in with a couple of slobs. That's awesome.
Antics ensue.
Yeah, and the real comedy comes when he repeats things like saying to the 13-year-old, I'm down with you, homie.
I should have been casting that role.
That's the role of your life.
I was going to say.
Let me. Thanks for that, by the way, Jeff. Here's the whole thing. My kid ever gets into sports, especially professional sports, I'm going to tell him, start getting a reputation as a jokester. Because here's what I figured out. Like baseball players, athletes in general, amongst the more, I'll just call them stupid. They're dumb guys. Athletes are really sort of the equivalent to bikini models, the male equivalent, which is they have a physical gift, a prowess, and therefore everything gets shut down. All other faculties get shut down. They focus solely on the physical, just like the bikini models focus solely on tanning and plucking, and they have no growth. You show me a 120-pound guy who's white as a ghost and wears thick glasses, I'm going to show you a guy with an intellect. You show me a huge, muscle-bound guy, I'm going to show you Mark Gastineau or one of these other idiots. It's just, just a lumphead. Once in a while, the two are married. I'd say about as often in men as they are is the bikini model having a great sense of humor.
Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, okay. Well, once in a while, there's some big guy with big biceps that turns out to have some personality, too. Still, the education rarely comes. Because who's got time for studying when you're kicking ass on the gridiron and getting laid? You know what I'm saying? But it's the same with men and women. But these guys, because they have a very, very poor intellect, usually have no sense of humor. The sense of humor is usually relegated to lighting things on fire in the clubhouse. Say big practical jokes like that. Taking a bunch of empty Gatorade cups, lining them up like bowling pins, and rolling the fungo bat at it in the dugout when it's raining. But if you can display any kind of sense of humor at all, you'll have a career when you retire. Like, remember Jay Johnstone for the Dodgers? Yeah. He was the funniest guy in baseball. Jay Johnstone is not a funny guy. He's funny for a baseball guy.
The funniest guy in baseball.
He's the funniest guy in baseball. Because your competition is Cal Ripken. You know what I mean? Ken Caminetti's your comedic competition. So you become the funniest guy in baseball, and as soon as you retire, you just do a whole bunch of sports comedy shows. You get your own gig. Okay, we'll be back.
Oh yeah, everybody now.
Loveline will be right back.
Loveline on 92.1 KFMA.
All right. Well, that's it for the show, y'all. Jeremy McGrath, Supercross superstar, will be in here tomorrow night. We'll talk to him. Until then, Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying, mahalo.
Mommy! This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station. And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingle. Now, please listen to this station. Longer. 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 Station. Longer.